to make a run in the Pac-12 tournament? What Trojans have pro potential? And did Reagan really get a birthday gift from John Morant? Stay tuned to find out on this week's episode of The Water Cooler. Good evening and welcome to The Water Cooler. I'm Paige Arredondo on the desk this week with Carlo Jimenez and Nicole Sheeran. Let's kick off the show the best way we know how with Water Cooler Talk. So how are you guys feeling today?
Good, excited to be back on the desk.
First time here, big expectations.
Big debut on the desk for Carlo. Here at USC, basketball season is coming to a close. Unfortunately for the women of Troy, it already has. After a hard-fought battle against the other LA school in round one of the Pac-12 tournament, the Trojans stumbled in the fourth quarter, resulting in a 73-60 loss. You know, this game may have been an L, but if we're looking at the season altogether, I would say it was a W. The future is bright for this team, especially with its new fearless leader. So, guys, if you had to grade Gottlieb's first season, what would you give it?
Yeah, I mean, this might be kind of harsh, but I'm going to give her a B considering all the circumstances. Look, Lindsay came in 2 months after the season had ended. Look at somebody like Lincoln Riley. He came in 2 weeks before the season ended this last year for USC football. A bright future. Jordan Jenkins was co-most improved player. Rhea Marshall, all freshman team. So good development at the post position. And, you know, I think for year number one, a solid outing for the Trojans.
See, I'm going to go with a B-. Now, that may sound a little harsh, but okay. The Trojans, they went 12 for 16. They were 10th in the Pac-12. But year one, it's done for Gottlieb. She came from the Cavs. She's an incredible coach, and she has a bright future with this team. Like Carlo said, they have Rhea Marshall. They have Jordan Jenkins. They have a lot of young talent on this team. They also had some incredible games. The Allison Muir buzzer beater shot against Arizona State. This team has it going for them. This year wasn't their year, but in a few seasons, I can see them with that A for sure.
Nice. So what does the future hold for the women of Troy?
I think a lot of offense, hopefully, coming in. They have a top 10 point guard. USC, when they scored 70 or more points this last year, they were 9-0. So they just got to get to that magic mark, and we'll see if they can offensively find more of a rhythm. Losing Jordan Sanders, losing Desiree Caldwell, two key pieces. But I think the future is bright. It's going to be a heavy freshman rotation next year, so we'll see what the young guns can do.
Yeah, they're definitely losing some key pieces for sure. Desiree Caldwell is a big one, but Rhea Marshall, she's been incredible this entire season. She's a freshman. Like, she's going to carry this team for the amount of years she's going to be at this school. And they have Gottlieb at the head. I mean, I'm not worried about this team being successful at all.
All right, well, you heard it here. The women aren't the only ones overcoming a devastating loss. So are the men. On Tuesday night, 2,960 students packed the Galen Center to cheer on the Trojans, who took on the #1 team in the Pac-12, the Arizona Wildcats. We got destroyed, 91-71. Mind you, this came after the Oregon State game, where we won in double OT, and the Oregon game, where Drew Peterson drilled a game-winning 3. Being a USC Hoops fan is an emotional roller coaster. Being a USC sports fan is an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this past week of action for the Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, starting with the Arizona game, I think we saw the difference between a team that is hoping to get to the second round of the NCAA tournament and a team that wants to win the NCAA tournament. I mean, Arizona mauled USC in front of the largest student section they had ever seen. It was utter embarrassment for the Trojans, who shot 2 for 15 from the three-point line and allowed Arizona to shoot 55% from the field. I mean, so much for defense. It was not the best showing for the Trojans, but hopefully a bounce back against UCLA.
No, I mean, the Trojans got it absolutely handed to them by the Wildcats. It was honestly straight garbage, if I'm being completely honest. But they beat them in every aspect of the game. Shooting, assists, steals, turnovers. Arizona had 30 points in the paint in the first half compared to USC's 14. You can't win a game when you're allowing another team to score 91 points a game. It's absurd. And meanwhile, USC's star players, Peterson, Ellis, Mobley, none of them had a game. You can't win a game when all your star players can't shoot, so it was pretty bad.
Yep, I wasn't there. I know you were, Carlo, but I checked the score like at halftime, and it was so painful. Saturday, the Trojans will face the Bruins in one final battle before heading to Vegas for the Pac-12 tournament. What are you guys' predictions for the game?
Look, no team has beaten UCLA since January 15th, 2020 at home in front of a crowd. But the last team to do it was our USC Trojans. I got faith.
Fight
USC
on.
comes out with a win. Isaiah Mobley and Boogie Ellis didn't even score, and we still beat them. Sure, Drew Peterson's not going to have his best of games. He probably won't drop 27, but I think the Trojans still have a great chance considering Johnny Juzang, Bruins' best player, hasn't played the last 2 games. He's going to be rusty. Trojans will have a good shot.
Listen, I'm a huge fight on all the time, but the faith in the Trojans right now, I don't have it. I don't have it at all for this game. They're going to Poly Pavilion. That's an incredible, energetic environment. I mean, first of all, Jaquez, yeah, Juzang may be out, but Jaquez, he had one of his best games of his career against Washington, 30 points. That guy is a monster. He's juiced up. Coming off of a terrible loss to the Wildcats, in my opinion, does not help this Trojan squad at all. So I'm concerned about that game. The 5-game win streak is definitely ending for the Trojans on Saturday. That's all I have to say.
Dang, traitor. After a year without it, the NFL Combine is back. 5 Trojans receive an invite to showcase their athletic talents to NFL GMs, scouts, head coaches, and millions of football fans around the world. The Trojans to keep an eye out for are running back Keontae Ingram, wide receiver Drake London, cornerback Chris Steele, outside linebacker Drake Jackson, and defensive back Isaac Taylor Stewart. London is in Indianapolis, but only for interviews. He's still rehabbing his ankle injury. So, guys, which Trojan do you think has the most to gain at the Combine?
I'm going to go with Keontae Ingram. Ingram was a guy who was mainly used as a running back here at USC, but what most people don't know is he's a wide receiver coming out of high school. Only 22 receptions the last season, but if Ingram can show that catching prowess in the Combine, I think he can really boost his draft stock and has a great chance to show that he's a dynamic back out of the backfield.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that pick. But also, you know, at USC the past few seasons, it's been Drake London has been the star on the field. But there's another Drake that a lot of us don't talk about, and that's Drake Jackson. His pass grade improved 20 points, but his draft stock decreased by 20 points. This guy did not have a great season last year, but it's because of the roster that he was on. He didn't have a lot of guys around him to support him. He's a strong player. His stats prove it. He has the athletic gifts that you can't teach guys. So the Combine is the perfect time for him to really show his skills and show that he deserves to be in the league.
He also added 20 pounds in the offseason, so he's up to 295 now.
Dang,
That's
no way.
insane.
Wow. So NFL scouts are busy evaluating league hopefuls, while the Water Cooler's own analyst Alex Blau is busy evaluating the NFL's new coaching hires. So let's toss it over to Alex on the sideline for a coach's check-in.
Breaking news out of the NFL, where the Houston Texans have fired head coach David Culley after just 1 season.
Moments ago, the Chicago Bears parted ways with Matt Nagy.
We've got breaking news here out of the NFL and CBS Sports HQ, where the Minnesota Vikings cleaning house. They fired both coach Mike Zimmer and GM Rick Spielman.
New York Giants have fired their head coach Joe Judge after 2 seasons in.
The NFL. While some claim it stands for the National Football League, others say the letters may mean not for long. This offseason, 9 coaching vacancies opened up. The faces you see behind me were booted for one reason or another, and once again these teams find themselves searching for the right leader of their team. With the legitimacy of the Rooney Rule in question and failing franchises looking to get it right, I'm here to answer the question, what makes a good NFL head coach? First, you're going to want a coach who will fight for the win. A competitive mindset is key. Current Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel, takes this to the next level. Mike literally pads up to compete with his players in drills, because Vrabel knows that the grind is the most... Okay, excuse us. It appears the staff here at the Water Cooler wanted to play a little early season prank, but if this is about desirable features in coaches, I seriously doubt Urban Meyer should pop up during this presentation at all. But competition is key. Take the Lions, for example. They may have had one of the worst records last season, but through utilizing trick plays and fresh tactics, they played better than teams led by less competitive coaches.
At the half. Interesting formation.
I mean, really, you're at the 4-yard line, and you don't feel comfortable enough in your offense to be able to run a traditional play. I mean, I get the...
I couldn't have said it better myself. Intellect is also critically important. Knowing the game is key, and the public gets to see this through interactions with the press. Now, offensive coaches have become the new fad, and there's a reason. Check out how Sean McVay shows his wits.
They're getting paid a lot of money to be better than what they've been.
Okay, good one. You guys got me again. You know what? Just run the real clip, okay?
Back to 2015, Week 7. Bucks at Skins.
Yep.
2nd and 7 on the Tampa Bay 24. 58 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Jamison Crowder wheel route down the right sideline.
Jamison Crowder wheel route down the right sideline. Set up the first down, and then how did that drive end?
Jordan Reed touchdown and a 4x1 individual ISO slam.
Finally, you need a leader of men. A man the players can get around with and buddy up while still maintaining the proper level of respect. Yeah, okay. I like what I'm seeing here. Yeah, sure, maybe. I don't really know what's going on there. Former Jags kicker Josh Lambo says Urban Meyer told him, wait, what? No, guy kicked him? What, guys? No, come on, guys, please. Come on. He wasn't even the worst head coach last year. That arguably goes to Chucky, whose emails show that all the progress made on the back of helmets and painted in end zones has been for naught. No substantive changes have been made. I mean, before these vacancies, Mike Tomlin was the only black head coach in the NFL going into the offseason. But alas, with these new hires, the league has a chance to change the narrative, a chance to make a statement, a chance to right the wrongs. So show me the new faces. We'll be seeing at the Combine this week. I can't do this anymore. You know what? There's going to be more water cooler when we get back, so stay tuned.
You love Uber Eats, the #1 app for getting your favorite local and chain foods delivered right to your door. Uber Eats is proud to present Uber Feeds. We want to go all the way for our customers, which is why we will have Uber Feeds delivery drivers literally feed your meal to you. Safety is our #1 priority, which is why every driver is vaccinated. Better yet, download now and get a delivery and feeding absolutely free. Uber Feeds, stuffed in more ways than one. You love Uber Eats, the #1 app for getting your favorite local and chain foods delivered right to your door. Uber Eats is proud to present Uber Feeds. We want to go all the way for our customers, which is why we will have Uber Feeds delivery drivers literally feed your meal to you. Safety is our #1 priority, which is why every driver is vaccinated. Better yet, download now and get a delivery and feeding absolutely free. Uber Feeds, stuffed in more ways than one.
Welcome back to the water cooler. Reagan Griffin Jr. and Skylar Treppel have joined me here on the desk. How are you guys feeling today?
Amazing as always. Another Thursday evening, ready to talk some sports.
Let's go. NBA is on fire right now. Can't wait to talk about it.
All right, leave it to the guys to bring the energy. Reagan, you were on the desk with me last week when we talked about the MLB lockout. Well, last week an MLB rep said that if a new CBA was not signed by the end of the month, 2022 regular season games would be canceled, player pay would not be recouped, and games would not be rescheduled. Well, that's exactly what happened. Major League Baseball has canceled opening day. Commissioner Rob Manfred announced Tuesday that this is the first time the sport has scrapped regular season games over a labor dispute in 27 years. The statement read, Rob Manfred and MLB's owners have canceled the start of the season. Players and fans around the world who love baseball are disgusted, but sadly not surprised. With owners and players unable to agree on a contract, Manfred canceled the first 2 series for each of the 30 teams, cutting each club's schedule from 162 games to 156 at most. There are so many greater social issues at play here. So what do you guys think about the cancellation?
Well, the biggest thing that I took away from the bat is that from a media standpoint, right, we're all journalists here.
Yeah.
I think we're being irresponsible, and I say we because we're all journalists, in the way that we're covering this because we're always getting the perspective of the owners in the league and not the players themselves. So if we're always hearing from that perspective and we're not using and approaching balance like we're taught literally at our journalism school, then we're failing as journalists. And I would say that's exactly what the baseball media industry is doing right now. They're failing because we're not hearing from the NBPA. We're only hearing from the MLB and Rob Manfred, who hold all the cards here, and that's not fair.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to look more into is the players' side with the competitive tax balance, and just that as the revenues go up, they feel like they should get more.
100%.
It's unbelievably fair. It's obviously called America's pastime for a reason, and it seems like Rob Manfred is doing everything he can to shoot baseball in the foot when the reason for the lockout with the incredible contracts and trades was that the star power was back. Everyone was talking about baseball. So I'm really hoping that they find a way to get it worked out in a way that is fair for the players as well.
I would say an unfair labor dispute that favors the side of ownership is pretty American. So still America's pastime.
Yeah, I do commend the players, though, for setting the precedent for the future of baseball.
Absolutely.
You know, like, it's not
100%.
just, like Rob Manfred saying we haven't had any type of issue in the past 27 years because there's never been any change in the past 27 years.
Exactly.
So I think it's awesome that the players are really taking a stand and not letting down.
Fight the power, MLB. Good job.
So while MLB has been on hiatus, NBA action has not stopped. Teams are evaluating what is possible as they reach the home stretch of their seasons. And for the Lakers, it's not looking too good. They're on the verge of completely missing the NBA playoffs. They only won 3 out of their last 13 games, and they haven't won since the All-Star break. Their own fans are booing them at home. So, guys, is this rock bottom for the Lakers?
I'm sorry. As soon as you brought up the Lakers, I just heard Skylar. Oh, Lakers. Oh, geez. Every time you brought up all the negative stats, I feel like you should start. You might have a lot to say.
Sure. I mean, okay, I'm going to start off by quoting Kevin Garnett after he won the 2008 NBA championship. Anything is possible. The Los Angeles Lakers can still win. Yes, this is the lowest point of the season. Their own fans are booing them. No, they're not real fans if you're booing your own team. But there is still hope for this squad. You know what? This team is way different. I get it. We've never seen a team this old going into the playoffs with these experienced veterans. And that is going to work to their favor because experience is what is required. Why is Ja Morant not winning the championship this year?
Why did you bring Ja into this? This has nothing to do with Ja. First of all, this has nothing to do with
It's a compliment to Ja. But I'm saying, why is he not winning this year? Because of experience. That's the #1 factor for the playoffs.
He had to make
and the
it
Lakers
personal.
have the experience. We're taking little blows at the Lake Show every week. Anyways, though, the other thing is this team was supposed to be a big 3. And right now, we have no Anthony Davis, and we're judging LeBron and Westbrook. And once Anthony Davis comes back, this team will get a spark. And last but not least, back to anything is possible. We have seen teams heat up at the right time in sports, whether it's the 2007 New York Giants against the New England Patriots 16-0, or whether it's the 2013 Lakers with Kobe's Achilles tear getting hot to make the playoffs at the right time before he tore his Achilles. I still believe in this squad, but it's been a nightmare of a season so far.
I'll tell you one thing. I admire optimism, but you just quoted a Boston Celtic. You a Lakers fan quoting a Boston Celtic?
Yeah, I gotta respect KG's game.
Didn't he say
Kobe
that
did,
after they beat the Lakers? No,
Yes,
I digress.
he did.
Point being, I don't think this is rock bottom for the Lakers. I think rock bottom has yet to come. Rock bottom is going to be when this team flops out of the play-in tournament. That's what I see this team doing. You're going to be playing either the Timberwolves, the Clippers, or the Pelicans. And for what I've seen from the Lakers to this point, you don't want to see either one of those 3 teams. I don't think you're capable of beating them. The talent is there, but the talent has been there for the team all year long, and it's been to no avail. So I got to say, at some point, you have to judge the team by what the product is that they put on the court. And the product has not been good enough for me to have any sort of confidence that this is going to be their low. They're going to go lower.
And it has been bad, but I think the thing is, again, what we haven't seen is that historically speaking in the NBA, March, April, that's when the veterans really come out to play. And that's where I think the experience will help them. That's where I think we actually saw one game of LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, and they all dropped nearly 30 points. And I think that when the playoffs come, and they won. And they won.
Who'd they beat?
Oh my God, it was the 8th game of the season. I'm going to have to go back and look.
Right.
But they will do something special in the playoffs because of their age and experience, because that is the #1 factor to win in the playoffs.
Well,
I need that sort of positivity.
Yeah,
in my life.
Skylar's clearly not the fan that's booing them at Staples Crypto. But we're going to play a fun game called Old School versus New School. Self-explanatory. So I'll give you 2 options. You pick one and tell me why. I'm going to need receipts. Let's get into it. So our first one, Ja Morant or MVP Derrick Rose? Who you got?
What are we doing? Y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know what I do. Ja Morant. It's got to be Ja Morant. Look, I know Derrick Rose came up with MVP. I know that Bulls team won 62 games. All credit to him. But Ja Morant, as it stands right now, is a better basketball player than Derrick Rose does this season. He can create for his teammates. He's a better distributor of the ball. He can handle more of the offense. I think he might be a better shooter. Ja Morant's shot is coming around, so I got to go with Ja Morant. A little bit of bias there because of my hometown, but I genuinely think he's a better player.
Yeah, I completely agree. Absolutely love Ja Morant. What I was saying there is that his youth is like, otherwise he would be winning the chip this year if he didn't have his youth, because he is so unbelievably good. He's got the athletic twitch of Derrick Rose with the skill of Allen Iverson. And, you know, I think the only difference is that they're not in first place. But, man, Ja Morant is playing better than Derrick Rose did then, and that's saying a lot.
All right. On the door, too.
All right. So next we have Evan Mobley or rookie Anthony Davis. Comparisons to Davis are rare, but Mobley looks similar in size, skill, IQ. So who you guys got?
I was talking to my boy Julio yesterday, actually. And, you know, coming into the league, I think everyone kind of mutually agreed Evan Mobley ceiling Anthony Davis. But after watching him play this past season, that might be closer to his floor than it is his ceiling. Because one thing I will say about Anthony Davis, when he gets doubled, and we see it, that's why this is part of why the Lakers don't work. He can't pass out of it. Evan Mobley does not have those issues at all. I'm going to have to go with rookie Evan Mobley because his IQ is better than Anthony Davis's was at that point in time.
Yeah, I think the reason it's very close, first of all, they average very similar numbers. The reason I'm going Anthony Davis is moments in his rookie season. He had a tip-in game winner over Kevin Garnett, who he idolized and was similar to. You know, a 28-point game. He had 18 and 20 rebounds, 20 double-doubles, and he was the guy on that team. And I think that's a lot more of a shoulder to bear. So you can't go wrong either way. I'm picking Davis, though.
All right, moving on. LeBron James has had quite a lengthy NBA career, but who wins, current LeBron or past LeBron?
Well, honestly, like all of these players, if they had individual careers, would have been Hall of Famers. So that just tells you how great LeBron has been. I think we both agree Miami LeBron was probably peak LeBron, but if I'm going for the most, when we tell the story of LeBron James, what's going to be the climax of that story? It's going to be that ring that he won in Cleveland. So I'm going to have to say that's the best version of LeBron because A, he won that championship for Cleveland. B, he had that 3-1 comeback, which I think is one of the most iconic moments in NBA history. And C, he did a lot with a little at many points in time with that team. Obviously, you got to give credit to Kyrie where it's due. You got to give credit to Kevin Love where it's due. But there was a lot of backpacking done by LeBron throughout all of those series. I'm going to have to go with that second stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That was the best version of LeBron.
I dig it. I got to go with the Miami Heat LeBron, though. Even though second stint LeBron, definitely it felt like you could have a game-winning shot in the playoffs or regular season. Miami Heat LeBron changed the game forever. This dude was unstoppable. You cannot talk about him in numbers. You have to play like the Jason Terry when he dunks on Jason Terry and mean mugs him.
The block.
Yes, the block, the big three. This LeBron changed the game, and that's why I'm going with him.
All right. Well, perfect. Now that you guys are warmed up, it's time to bring the heat in the great debate. Roll the bump. All of the drama surrounding James Harden for the past few seasons has resulted in his pairing with Joel Embiid in Philly. Now, with a solid core and a strong supporting cast, are the 76ers the team to beat in the NBA?
So my understanding is that you believe that they are, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to give you the floor first. You got it.
Okay. All right. The 76ers are the team to beat in the National Basketball Association. They are the modern-day Shaq and Kobe. It is incredible what they're doing. This is a match made in basketball heaven. This is not Batman and Robin. This is Batman and Superman right here. James Harden is averaging 27 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds since joining. Joel Embiid is leading the league in scoring, just like Shaq. You have that little man, big man, 1-2 punch. And look at what they've been doing. They've won their last 3 games. One of the most deadly pick and rolls in the NBA. And the amount of spacing. And Tyrese Maxey, 25 points a game. Now, I know what you're going to say about the other teams in the East and whatnot. And them boys up in Brooklyn.
Agree with you.
Okay, true. And the boys up in Brooklyn with, but Ben Simmons is not back yet. Kyrie Irving, there's still controversy over whether he can play or not. Giannis is a big one. Middleton and Drew Holiday are good. I just still think that this squad, with these two and the way Embiid has been playing, is a team to beat.
I hear you. Joel Embiid has had an MVP caliber season. James Harden's one of the greatest players this team has ever seen. I believe Tyrese Maxey is a most improved player candidate, if not deserving of the award this year. But the team to beat after 3 games? Ain't no way. We have a whole champion out there in Milwaukee. We have a whole multiple-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Giannis Antetokounmpo that this team has to prove to me that they can beat before I can say that's the team to beat. Yeah. You got to worry about Brooklyn. We saw what the Nets did with Kevin Durant and injured James Harden last year. It was really Kevin Durant carrying everything, and they took toe-to-toe with Milwaukee, right? So unless they beat those 2 teams and do it in a fashion that shows me that they can do that on a sustained level, they're not the team to beat. They're an intriguing team. They're perhaps a team that a lot of the Eastern Conference and even the Western Conference teams are going to have to look out for, but the team to beat, absolutely no way. There's no way. You got to show me more than 3 games before I'm convinced on that.
I understand what you're saying, but sometimes with some of these big pairings, like that Miami Big Three LeBron, you see a little bit of the product, or even before, like Miami was the team to beat going into that year. So I still think that this 76ers team, it's true, but Embiid leading the league in scoring right now, and then James Harden doing it at his prime, I really think that because we haven't seen it out of them, because it's untapped potential, and in the honeymoon phase, you can just as easily say that means they're not the team to beat,
the honeymoon
or
phase.
it means they are the team to beat.
Yeah.
I take it as they are the team to beat.
I mean,
because you know how good these 2 players are and you've seen the products.
Yeah. So if they're the team to beat, who are they going to match up with in the championship?
Ooh. As much as I'm hoping the Lakers being slightly more realistic for the time being, I think it is the Phoenix Suns or the Golden State Warriors. I'm personally going with the Phoenix Suns because they have more experience this year. I think they're going to prove to people that they weren't pretenders last year, but I still think the Sixers can win the chip this year.
I mean, of course they can win, but the issue at hand here is, are they the one that we put all our chips on? And how can we put our chips on a team that hasn't even played a playoff series together yet? We know how things go. The regular season, it looks great, especially with a guy like James Harden and a guy like Joel Embiid. But those are 2 guys, and as much as I admire the fact that they can get to the line and get those sustained sorts of points, you and I both know that come playoff basketball, those free throws are a little bit more difficult to get because that whistle becomes a little bit more silent, and that's going to be an issue for this team come playoff time. I got to see it over a longer period of time in a more compact setting and with a higher pressure situation before I'm able to say that that's the team to beat.
Yeah, it's hard to pick up on any trends after just 3 games. But all right, guys, I felt the heat on that one, as expected, as always. But we're coming up on the end of the show, so let's hop right into final memos. John Morant had an internet-breaking dunk. You guys want to talk about it?
Yes, I do want to talk about it. So y'all know my birthday was March 1st, and the day before, the day before he did that, that boy dropped 52. 52 with a buzzer beater, with the dunk, with a range 3. I appreciate that, John Morant. I know he's somewhere out there like, Reagan, I got you. So that was very much appreciated.
All right, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. So let's see, as a birthday present for Reagan, if he can reenact this dunk.
Let's go.
Will it be as legendary?
Appreciate you, my man.
Carlo. All right, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in 3 weeks. Have an amazing spring break.